We start these meetings at a decent time, probably not on time. Sergeant Owens, please call this city council meeting order.
All right.
Councilwoman Walker, could you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Our chaplain of the day is Rabbi Ian Lichter. Okay. Could you please lead us in prayer?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, for the invitation, the opportunity to pray together this afternoon. Sovereign of the universe, who created all in love, teach us to love all that is good and beautiful in this world. At this fateful moment in human story, bless us that we may be a blessing to others. Guide our beloved city of Memphis to honor you by honoring one another, so that by reaching out in love, we may turn enemies into friends and become your family on earth as you are our parent in heaven. Beloved God, bless the members of this city council, the individuals who stand before you today, individuals who have distinguished themselves with generosity and strength of spirit on behalf of their community. We ask of you, God, to guide their considerations, their discussions, and their actions, that they may represent their constituents with wisdom and justice, grace and compassion, bringing honor to your name and your blessing to humankind. We are thankful for this day that you have given us, for its blessings, its opportunities, and its challenges. May we appreciate and use each day that comes to us. We pray for strength and guidance for each day as it comes, for each day's duties, for each day's problems. May we be challenged to give our best always, and may we be assured of your presence with us. Lord of the universe, this is a time in our year where many of us turn our attention to the spiritual side of our lives. When we consider what light we will follow, let us be reminded of the daily miracles that surround our existence. Let us renew our obligation to meet those miracles with a new commitment to help others in our community, our nation, and our world. With the power, influence, and resources that you have blessed us with, let us always remember that these indeed are a blessing from you, and that charity is more fulfilling than decadence, and the golden rule of love thy neighbor like thyself is a true guidepost for which we should mark our existence. Bless those people around the world who are touched by our works, so that they too can have the joy of a fulfilling life, full of good health and companionship in surroundings that are beneficial to us all. And let us say amen.
Vice Chairman Kennelly, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Colleagues, members of the public, it's a great honor of mine to introduce to you and to thank Rabbi Ian Lichter of the Baron-Hirsch congregation for being with us and praying with us and over us today. Rabbi's been a dear friend of mine for a number of years. He's a tremendous asset to the Memphis community. Rabbi, greetings. Be it hereby known that Rabbi Ian Lichter, in recognition of a life of exemplary qualities, outstanding service to the city, meritorious involvement in humanitarian affairs, and demonstrated concern for governmental process, has been appointed Chaplain of the Day of the Memphis City Council and is hereby entitled to all the honors, rights, privileges, and prerogatives appertaining to the office and to the display of this certificate. Given under the seal, the 12th day of November, Chairman J.B. Smiley, Councilman J. Ford Kennelly. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Council members Kennelly, Carlisle, Cooper Sutton, Easter Thomas. Ford. Green. Logan.
Present.
Spinoza. Swearingen Washington.
Present.
Walker. Warren. White.
Present.
Chairman Smiley.
Present, we have a quorum.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. I believe that Vice Chairman Canali, out of order. I believe Vice Chairman Canali has read the minutes for our previous meeting. Vice Chairman Canali.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have reviewed the meeting minutes from the October 15th meeting, find them to be in order, and move for their adoption.
Moved by Vice Chairman Canali, seconded by Councilman Spinoza. Madam Comptroller, please prepare the screen. Council members, please cast your vote.
Canali, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. White, yes. Chairman Smiley, yes.
This item passes. Welcome to the November 12th, 2024 regular meeting of the Memphis City Council. Meetings of the council shall be conducted in an orderly manner to ensure the public has the full opportunity to be heard and the deliberate process of council is retained at all times. The Sergeant at Arms has meeting agendas available up front. Chief Young, Sergeant, here we go. Sergeant Arms. As well as the coming request cards for members of the public wishing to be heard on a specific item. All those wishing to speak on an item must turn in their comment cards to the Sergeant at Arms before the item is called. If you're not here to speak on a specific item, you can note your request to give general comment at the end of the meeting. As chair, I will only recognize citizens that properly register to speak by submitting a completed comment request card to the Sergeant at Arms. Members of the audience and persons addressing the council will not be permitted to engage in gossip, make defamatory, personal, slanderous, or profane comments, or use abusive or vulgar language. The chairperson of the council may maintain order by giving any persons who are in violation of the stated rules of decorum a warning to cease any violative conduct in order to leave the council chambers, or by giving an order for security personnel to remove any disruptive person in the council chambers who refuse to leave voluntarily. These rules are posted on the doors as you enter the chambers and as you pick up the comment cards. Item 3 will be held until December 17, 2024. For those of you who've been paying attention, toward the end of the executive committee, I asked the body to allow me to add 2 items to the agenda, which are the selection of the 2025 chairperson of the Memphis City Council and the 2025 vice chair of the Memphis City Council. Each nomination must be moved and seconded and accepted by the nominee. Once a candidate reaches 7 votes, the chair or the vice chair will be selected. If there are more than one candidate, each candidate will be given 3 minutes to offer words to the body as to why they should be the chair and what they plan to do in that role. If no one receives 7 votes, we will conduct another roll call vote. If there are 3 or more candidates, the candidate receiving the lowest vote total will not advance to the next round of roll call votes. And that process will go on until we have the next chair and vice chair of the Memphis City Council. Madam Comptroller?
Yes, sir.
Please call item number 49 with same 9 minutes.
Well, one moment, sir.
It's the vote for chair.
Item number 49 is the selection of the 2025 chair of the Memphis City Council.
Thank you. Do I need to make a motion, Brooke?
We don't have it.
All right, so with that, I would like to nominate Vice Chairman Ford, J. Ford Canali. We all know this is his lifelong dream. He's done an excellent job serving as vice chair. When I was out, he stepped up, led this body, and I think he would be a phenomenal chair. I'm happily supporting him, and I hope every member of this body does so as well. He will lead well. Any other nominations for chairman of the Memphis City Council? Seeing there's none, can I obtain a motion to close nominations? There There's a motion to close nominations by Ford Senior. Can I get a second? There's a second to close nominations. By acclamation, can we all acknowledge the 2025 chairman of the Memphis City Council, J. Ford Canale? A little fun. I think we all know Canale's gonna cry tonight. All right. Madam Comptroller, could you please call item number 50 with same 9 minutes? Vice Chair selection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 50 is the selection of the vice chair for the Memphis City Council, year 2025.
All right, can I get a motion? Well, no need a motion because Chief Hyman told me I don't need a motion. Are there any nominations for in the queue for vice chair? Councilwoman Green, you are in the queue.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Green, talk to me.
Thank you, current chair, and congratulations to future chair Canale. I would like to nominate Councilwoman Janice Swearingen-Washington for vice chair.
Can I second that? I think I can second it.
I second.
You know, although I usually would say something, but you know, you got it, because I don't have a problem with that. All right, moved by Councilwoman Green, seconded by Councilwoman Walker. Is there any other nominations for vice chair? All right, doesn't appear to be any other nominations. I will entertain a motion to close nomination. Moved by Councilman Warren, seconded by Councilwoman White. By acclamation, all those in favor of closing nominations? No objections? All right. So, could we please congratulate the 2025 Vice Chair of the Memphis City Council, Councilwoman Janice Swearingen-Washington. I was told that Councilwoman Swearingen-Washington had a special song to sing to us today.
We've been waiting on you.
You know, we've been waiting on this song for a very long time. But, you know, I guess we're going to have to keep waiting because I don't want to get beat up today. All right. Madam Comptroller, now we're back to the real business of the Memphis City Council. Madam Comptroller, could you please call item number 1?
Item number 1 is a resolution recognizing the month of October as Principals Month. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Easter Thomas. This was held from October 15th.
Can I get a motion? Moved by Spinoza electronically. Seconded by Councilman Warren. Councilwoman Easter Thomas, you're recognized. Well, hold up, I'm sorry. Dr. Councilwoman Easter Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I've been waiting on you to get that right. Good afternoon, colleagues in City of Memphis. We have some special guests here with us today, compliments of all 13 council members. October is recognized as National Principals Month, but we did want to recognize y'all had fall break last month, so we didn't want to call you down then, but we didn't want to wait till next year. So we have you all to come today just to be able to say thank you and that we recognize you for what you do. I would ask that all of the principals who are here with us today just come and join me so we all can be in the view of the camera when people are looking at this on YouTube so they can see y'all faces. And then also, once I read this into the record, I'll ask all my colleagues to come so we can all get pictures with our principals. Whereas on occasion, the Memphis City Council finds it both fitting and meaningful to recognize special days, months, and groups that celebrate the invaluable contributions of individuals and organizations within our Memphis community. National Principals Month is one such month more than worth of recognition. And every October, National Principals Month serves as a time to honor and highlight the vital role of school principals in shaping the academic, social, and emotional growth of students while fostering safe, supportive, and enriching learning environments. Principals are instrumental in guiding the success of schools, setting the tone for student achievement, teacher excellence, and community engagement, also serving as pillars of leadership and support for students, staff, and families alike. The Memphis City Council recognizes the significant contributions of our school principals, not only as administrators, but also as educators, mentors, and advocates for children all across the city. You all play a crucial role in fostering the growth and development of our students and some council members that are up here as well. But you all ensure that each child receives a quality education and the support needed to succeed in life. So the Memphis City Council wishes to honor Principal Jamie Fowler White, Principal Deanna Pruitt, Principal Carrie Holland, Principal, you can do that. Principal Dr. Bradley Breeden, Principal Dr. Vincent Hunter, Principal Dr. Reginald Williams, Principal LaWanda Shaw, Principal Julia Calloway, Principal Dr. Rebecca Scott, Principal LaKenna Booker, Principal Greg McCullough, Principal Dr. Taurus Hines, there we go, and Principal Joanna Brown, who have been nominated for their exceptional service and dedication to their schools and communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Memphis City Council hereby recognizes the month of October and today, the 12th of November, as National Principals Month. City of Memphis, can you please join me in congratulating and just appreciating our principals? Did anybody want to speak? Did anybody want to speak? Colleagues, none of the principals said they wanted to speak today. But if you all can join us down here so we can get a picture to commemorate on today. And people in the audience and folks who are here with us, just thank a principal on your way out. It's not an easy task. I see our superintendent that's also over there. But these are principals from public schools, charter schools, private schools, and we know that we all have to work together for our children to succeed in the city of Memphis.
Yes, they'll probably do a big.
Can you see everybody? Can y'all see everybody?
You want a big soup shot? Michael, you said enough. You want a big soup shot?
Let's scooch in, y'all.
Are we gonna squeeze in?
Yeah, we're gonna squeeze in. We're gonna look at Charity. Look at Charity. Yeah, we're gonna look at Charity. With the beautiful red hair. Thank you, Charity. Yeah.
You know, it was nice to have some more council members up here. All right, council members. All right, back to business. Madam Comptroller, could you please call item number 2?
Item number 2 is a resolution honoring District 1 pastors in recognition of Clergy Appreciation Month. District 1, Super District 9. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Logan.
Councilwoman Logan, you're recognized when you make it to the mic.
Chair, I am so honored to be able to present this award. As you know, here in the city of Memphis and across our country, our clergy are play such an important part in our communities, in the health of our cities. And I just wanted to make certain that we as a body recognize the valuable asset they are to our community. National Clergy Month was last month, the month of October, but of course we had so many other observances in our for here at council, but we still wanted to make sure that we honored the clergy of our city. And so in District 1, we put out a request to the community to nominate a clergy that has impacted the community. We had responses and took the top 5. 2 of them were able to be with us today, and I'd like for them to come forward and represent the clergy of Memphis. We have Pastor Harbin and Pastor Lavender. If you all would come with First Ladies. We have a resolution, and this resolution really is in honor of the clergy of Memphis. We know we just had the Kojic Convention, which is always a blessing to our city and so impactful. And I dare not let an October go by without letting you know how important you are to the health of this city, to the communities and the neighborhood and the residents, to the health of our community. And by you all being here today, you're representing the clergy of Memphis, and I appreciate that. And I'd like to read this into your hearing. Memphis City Council resolution. Whereas on occasion, the Memphis City Council has seen fit to commemorate occasions that celebrate individuals who have significantly contributed to this community and whose courage has helped our great city become fairer and more just. Clergy Appreciation Month is one such occasion that is certainly worthy of recognition. And whereas during Clergy Appreciation Month, the Memphis City Council acknowledges the critical and transformative roles that the clergy members play in supporting and uplifting our communities through spiritual guidance, compassionate service, and leadership. And whereas October has been nationally recognized as Clergy Appreciation Month, a time to honor and express gratitude for the tireless work and dedication of pastors, ministers, and faith leaders who devote themselves to the well-being of their congregations and the community at large. And I want to emphasize that, who devote themselves to the well-being of their congregations and the community at large. And whereas in District 1, our pastors and faith leaders serve as beacons of hope and resilience, spearheading initiatives that address spiritual, social, and economic challenges and fostering unity and understanding among residents. And whereas clergy members have worked alongside community organizations, schools, nonprofits, and local government to bring about positive change, whether through providing youth mentorship, advocating for social justice, and mobilizing resources for families in need. And whereas the collaborative efforts of District 1 clergy have contributed significantly to the overall health and vibrancy of our neighborhoods, reinforcing the importance of faith-driven community development and advocacy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Memphis City Council does hereby proclaim October as Clergy Appreciation Month and commends the invaluable contributions of District 1 pastors and clergy members for their unwavering commitment to serving and strengthening the community. Adopted November 12th, 2024, Rhonda Logan, Memphis City Council, District 1. Let's give them a hand. We thank you so much. Pastor Lavenberg, you want to have word? And Pastor Harvey, you want to say something?
I'd just like to say on behalf of the clergy in the Raleigh area, thank you so much for this honor. I'm greatly appreciative of this honor, as well as I'd like to thank Councilwoman Rhonda Logan for putting this together.
I, too, also want to thank the City Council for giving us this honor. It's our job to minister to the city. We love our city, and it's going to get better after this. Thank you so much.
Madam Comptroller, please show that approved by acclamation. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Please call item number 5.
Item number 5 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a planned development at the subject property located 2101 Central Avenue. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development, and the case number is PD 24-12.
Councilman Ford Sr., you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Committee recommends approval, not so moved.
Moved by Councilman Ford, seconded by Councilwoman Swearingen Washington. Canal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This item was heard in committee, received a favorable recommendation. Unless a member of this body would like to see another presentation, I think that we're ready to vote.
All right, appears all Cedric. Appears all hearts and minds are clear. Madam Comptroller, could you please read the screen?
5.
For this item, please. Thank you. Canale, yes. Cooper, Sutton, yes. Easter, Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. Walker, yes. Warren, yes. Chairman Smiley, yes.
This item passes. Madam Comptroller, could you please call item number 4?
Item number 4 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a special use permit at the subject property located at 7801 Fisher Still Road. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. It was held from October 1st. Our case number is PD 24-07.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Can I get a motion? Moved by Councilman Warren, seconded by someone electronically. I second it. Seconded by myself. Councilwoman Green.
Thank you, Chair. Before we begin discussion or have a vote on this item, I need to state for the record that because of my employment with Shelby County, I will need to be recusing myself from this item.
Thank you, Councilwoman Green. So the Councilwoman Green's recused. Councilwoman White.
Thank you, Chairman. I wanted to make a statement on the record as well that I represent the commission and will be recusing myself from vote on this matter.
Councilwoman White and Councilwoman Green have recused themselves on this particular item. With that, I'm gonna
Kick it back to me.
Councilman Canale.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, colleagues, I met with both sides. I met with Mr. Brady and with some of the business owners in Cordova, and I think you'll have the opportunity to hear from both of them today for each side to make their case. So I would recommend, Mr. Chairman, that 15 minutes aside to start. If we need more time, I'll add more time to the clock.
All right. Sounds like 15 minutes on the clock. Is there any objections? I'm not gonna say we need less time than that, although I may want to. All right. I guess we take a presentation on this item.
All right. Good afternoon. Chloe Christian with DPD, presenting case PD 2024-007. This is the new plan development for the new East Region High School. The applicant is here at Memphis Shelby County Schools, and the location is at 7801 Fisher Steel Road. Here's a location map of the property. It's located to the west of Germantown Parkway. We sent out 42 notices in May of this year. The property is currently zoned IH heavy industrial, and it's surrounded by a mix of uses, predominantly industrial and commercial. Here are some photos of the site. It's predominantly vacant currently. This is the master plan of the school. You can see a variety of sports fields being proposed, as well as a gymnasium in Building B, and the school composes Building A, as well as a parking lot to the lower corner. Here's a landscape plan submitted by the applicant. The lighting plan proposes that all access entrances will be lighted, as well as the parking lot and sports fields. Here are some concept elevations that were submitted on behalf of the applicant. So a consistency analysis was prepared by Memphis 3.0 comprehensive planning, and this proposal was found to be consistent with the future land use goals. So in conclusion, this is a request for plan development to allow a new high school, as well as a gymnasium and sports fields on a property that's underlying zoning is heavy industrial. The proposed high school is about 875 feet from Germantown Parkway and nearby a Walmart, as well as single-family residences. And staff finds that this proposed use is compatible with the surrounding land uses and would provide a nice long-term stable service use to this land that would be more desirable than potentially a truck trailer storage detention center or garbage collection service. Those uses would be permitted by right here. So staff finds that a school would be a probably more desirable use to this property. And so this proposal received a favorable recommendation from DPD staff as well as the Land Use Control Board. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you for that presentation. Mr. Brady, are you going to be the one speaking on behalf of the MSCS?
Yes, in concert with other members of the MSCS team.
Okay. Madam Comptroller, please put 15 minutes on the clock. After your name and address, Mr. Brady, you may begin.
My name is Corey Brady. My address is 9967 Bentwood Creek Cove, and that is Collierville, Tennessee. Mr. Chairman, council members, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. We're very excited about discussing this project with you all. My role on this team as the planner is the preparation of the plan development documents and the application being considered by you all today. I'm also here to answer any site-specific zoning questions you have related to this request. following our brief presentation. Before I call other representatives of the Memphis Shelby County Schools team, I wanted to talk briefly about why we're here. I know there's people in the audience that may not know, there's people that are watching that may not know. We are here today simply to satisfy state law. Tennessee Code Annotated 49-2-140 and a subsequent agreement with Memphis Shelby County Schools, Shelby County Government, and the City of Germantown obligates, again, underscore that word, obligates Memphis and Shelby County Schools to construct a new school that provides students currently enrolled at Germantown High with a comparable or better school option. And the new East Region High School that we're proposing will satisfy that obligation. Now, I do want to touch on the fact that favorable action today obviously does not facilitate construction of the school. It simply permits the public school use as regulated by the approved plan development and also the provisions of the UDC. And the approval would allow us to go to the next phase, which is the design phase of the project. A little procedural history on this. As Chloe just stated, the staff report affirms that the new East Region High School plan development fully complies with all provisions of the Memphis Unified Development Code. 11 offices within the Division of Planning and Development have reviewed this application, and I want to underscore the fact that we did not receive a single negative comment pertaining to this application or request. The request complies with the zoning regulations of the Fisher-Steele Small Area Plan, and the request has been deemed consistent with Memphis 3.0. Now, a little bit about the environmental considerations of the site being an industrial zone. There have been multiple environmental assessments completed on this project by two different companies, and the conclusions for all of the assessments have been the same, and that is that the site is suitable for development. Now, the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, or TDEC, has also taken these environmental assessments and have done their thorough analysis of these assessments, and they have provided a no additional action for the property, a no additional action letter for the property, excuse me. And also, most recently, and I can pass this around, CSX Transportation has released all use restrictions on the property. They executed a correction deed, and again, I have copies to circulate around. And lastly, as Chloe mentioned, this request received unanimous recommendation of approval by the Land Use Control Board. Altogether, that's a very heavy lift, and we're very proud to have received that. I do want to introduce the team that is here today. Hopefully we will be able to address every question that you guys have. We certainly have the manpower to do so. Most importantly, Dr. Figgins, Superintendent of Memphis Shelby County Schools, is here today. Michelle Stewart, the Facility Services Officer, is here today. From the design team, Michael Winters, the Vice President and Principal of 4F Design Architects. Sal Faraci, President and Partner of Renaissance Group Architects. Luke Hall is here. He is the Senior Geologist for Tioga Environmental Consultants that work to prepare the environmental assessments, work with TDEC, et cetera. And we have various other security personnel that we can call upon if any of us are unable to answer your questions. So in light of everybody's time, I wanted to be brief because I'm hoping that following me, we can bring Michael Winter up, give a brief presentation, but really reserve the balance of our time to answer your questions respectfully. So with that, if you guys will allow, I'd like to call Michael Winters up here to give a presentation of the site plan document.
It's your time.
So Michael. Thank you.
No.
Good afternoon, council members. Thank you for the opportunity to present this presentation. Chloe is going to pull up our presentation. It's the same presentation we gave to Land Use Control Board. Gives a brief overview of the project, kind of give you a couple of updated elevations, and give you a little more information about our project. Perfect. All right. Next slide, please. We can advance through the view. We can advance forward through the first few ones. There we go. Corey gave a brief introduction on this about the Tennessee Code annotated that gives the why behind why we're here, but I also wanted to touch on the vision that MSCS has cast for this project. It's not just that we're going to provide an equivalent or better facility, but we want to also provide the quality and features of the recently built high schools in Shelby County, notably Collierville and Bartlett, and other facilities. Next slide, please. I'll give you a brief overview. The reason that the Renaissance and 4F Design are on this team is because we have provided successfully the most recent examples of these high-quality school projects in Shelby County, like Bartlett High School, Collierville High School, and Lakeland Prep in Lakeland. We know how to get this done, and we're working diligently to provide the same for MSCS. Next slide, please. The program elements of this project, as we mentioned, are the minimum program requirements from Germantown High School with the quality and scale of Collierville High School, and then also adding in additional insight and best practices from MSCS and the Germantown High School administration. Next slide. So just an overview of the program elements. Obviously, we have academic spaces like classrooms, STEM, special education and science labs, a full complement of CTE programming like TV studio, culinary arts, child care, health services, and others. Fine arts will be represented with art, visual arts, band, and others. Core elements like the cafeteria, library, study hall, other things you'd expect. And then full complement of outdoor and indoor athletic components. We've been over, staff outlined where the site is, so I'll skip to the next slide. This is kind of an amalgamation of the site properties that we've put together. Next slide. This is a site plan showing you how we put the pieces together. There's over 1,000 parking spaces available on the site. And then we got a bus lane for 19 buses. Then you see the athletic components represented as well. This is a circulation diagram. We've worked diligently to try to figure out how to get all of the different circulation pieces together. The yellow represents buses that are arriving for afternoon and morning drop-off. The red represents car drivers that are being dropped off, and then the purple or the blue represents student drivers. So the point we're trying to make here is that they all have separate routes, so they will not conflict.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Could you lean closer to the mic?
Yes.
Thank you.
Did y'all hear everything about the circulation diagram? Okay, perfect. Next slide, please. Safety and security, we've addressed those in a number of different ways. The notable first thing we did, we pushed the building away, as far away from Germantown Parkway as we can. The idea there is that we would keep the students as far away from the businesses. So also the building has a defensible stand so they can see things coming. The entire perimeter of the property will be fenced. There'll be gated entry points at each site entry point. Of course, the security cameras and controlled access, just like they have at other schools. They'll have detailed screening at entry points, and then also on-site MSTS security and or the Sheriff's Department, school resource officer will be on-site. These are some updated renderings showing the exterior of the building. This is the main entrance. This is a view of the gymnasium and the classroom wing. There's a significant courtyard in the middle of the space, which allows the students to go outside during the day and still be in a secure perimeter environment. This is another view of the courtyard space, showing some activity and how they can have outdoor classes within that secure perimeter. And that is all that I have, unless you have any questions. I'll turn it over to Corey.
Do you want to save remaining time for rebuttal, or you want to offer some more remarks?
Save time for rebuttal, answer any questions you guys have. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Canale? All right, 15 minutes on the clock. We have some folks here in opposition. I'm gonna supposedly go in order. There's another card I'm missing, but I'm gonna start with Norcross.
Thank you, Mr.
Name and address.
My name is Ernie Norcross, 7910 Trinity Road. I represent, thank you for hearing this. I appreciate the time. I represent two entities. I represent the Cordova Neighborhood Business Association, which is over 200 businesses within a 1 mile radius of the building. And then I also represent my own business, which is Volvo Cars in Memphis and Norcross Mazda of Memphis. So those are my two entities.
So quick question, then I'm gonna let you get to your presentation. Of those, you said 200 entities, did any of them sign a petition or anything like that?
We were kind of getting into grassroots towards the end of this, so we didn't have times to have that. We've had one meeting. We've had over 40, 50 of those businesses come to those meetings and voice their opposition to this and the effect that it would have on their business.
I'll let you get your presentation, then I'll start asking questions.
Sure,
from both
yes,
sides.
sir. So I'm trying to go fast so the other folks can speak also. But if you notice, hopefully you were emailed this document to you. It was emailed to you and represent to what the concerns are in regards to that. The biggest concern, obviously, is the heavy traffic areas in that area. If you'll notice on one of the pages, it does show a map that they indicated the environmental surveys, but the railroad is CXX transportation. And one of the things about the transportation is there is a deed restriction on that railroad area. The deed restriction is in regards to an environmental issue. Some of us opened our businesses knowing that that deed was restricted there, so there would not be apartments or any residential or anything put in there because of that. When I bought my business, that was part of that. But that's part of it. The other thing that we want to point out also is the we have the site map, but we also want to show, I think we have two videos that we'd like to show to you. You have the videos?
Can we have someone run a video? There we go.
Here's one. This video right here kind of shows a drone video of the site and the traffic. This is Trinity and Germantown Parkway. If you could go ahead and play it. It is on a foggy day, so the drone was right there in that area. This road right here is Moriarty that you're seeing there, and the traffic lights that you'll see. This is about the time that the students would be coming to the school on that day. The date of that was in October. I'm sorry, it was the 30th. That right there is showing Germantown Parkway. That's the site right there in the area. We got so the blank space right there is the parkway. If you'll notice, one of the biggest issues.
Could we pause the video for a second? Can we stop this time as well? Councilwoman Logan.
Sure.
You good? All right. Councilwoman Logan want to take a visual picture of where this is. All right. Are you good, Councilwoman?
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead, sir. Can we start the time?
You can start again. This is the morning time. If you'll notice, as we're coming down this direction at the Germantown light, this is where the traffic will be. This is in the direction of Moriarty and Fisher Steel. This road right here, I appreciate Mr. Brady in his maps, but he did not show, on his maps, he shows that there's an access road coming from Trinity that's not in this proposal at this time, that the city of Memphis would have to pay for that road. Sorry for the darkness and clouds, the drone came through. This is Fisher Steel Road, and if you'll notice on Fisher Steel, there is a tire place right there that has. This right here shows an 18-wheeler. We didn't ask them to do that. We have 25 to 50 18-wheelers that come down Moriarty and Fisher Steel Road a week, delivering anything from cars to hazardous chemicals to, in this case, it's United Rentals. They stop their truck on Moriarty because they cannot get into their facility to unload that piece of equipment right there. I also use Moriarty to unload our automobiles. If you'll notice on your left there, you have the Volvo dealership right there, and then the next one is the Mazda store. There is a 18-wheeler unloading brand new Mazdas at that time. So that is going to be complicated because our neighbor will be the school system that will be right next to it. So our next door neighbor is United Rentals in that regards on that video there. So as you can see, there's quite a few cars there. That truck would have a real difficult time turning in there, so he will turn in, and if there's traffic there, it's going to make it a real difficult sign. And this is a video of Trinity. As you come to Trinity, you'll see there's my dealership, the Volvo store, and the Mazda, and there was a truck on Trinity unloading also in regards to that. We would like to point out, here's another truck coming down to unload equipment. In the next video, it shows the same. In the information that we gave you, we also have the traffic survey. The traffic survey itself shows that there are 5 of the recent traffic lights that you just saw did fail and said the traffic was excessive in doing that. Our concern is the traffic, the safety, the asset security, and also the business interruption. Me personally, I had an opportunity for my business to go out on 385 after I purchased the Volvo dealership. I was on Covington Pike, and I chose to stay in the city of Memphis. I'm a longtime Memphian. I'm also a graduate of Ridgeway High School, so we're not against the school system at all. We think that's a great thing. We just think this is the wrong location because of traffic, because of safety, because of all those things that relate to it, and then our business interruption. It will affect that, so.
All right, are you done or you want someone else to come speak?
I'd like to give someone else the time to speak
All right,
too.
I'm gonna call the next card. The next card is Dan McCleary, followed by Walker Sims.
Dan McCleary, 7950 Trinity Road. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members. I'm the founder, owner, and producing artistic director of Tennessee Shakespeare Company, located at 7950 Trinity Road. Tennessee Shakespeare Company is Memphis's first and only professional classical theater and education organization. We're now in our 17th season. Please do note that Tennessee Shakespeare Company is a multi-time grantee of this council. In the last few years, for our work with over 600,000 Shelby County students, over 1,000 military veterans, and over 2,000 adjudicated and detained youth at all of our Memphis detention centers. Since May, I have made regular requests for the property feasibility study that we were told was conducted in association with this project. To date, I have not received a response or that study. I recognize this school needs to be built in Cordova by law, and TSC and I want the school to be built in Cordova. TSC teaches at Cordova High School, and we love these students. We love our schools and teachers. We teach and perform in our schools almost every single week during the year. Tennessee Shakespeare Company's unique dispute with this proposal, outside of the safety concerns already mentioned, is that it positions an outdoor public address system across the street from our live theater. We know that when any of those fields and PA systems are in use by either the high school or any other organization, TSC will not be able to conduct our business as usual, which is performing live theater to an audience of 200 patrons per performance, 4 to 6 times per week, across 6 to 7 productions per year. Our performances will not be heard, or they will be obstructed. We are trying to be cooperative in this process. We have met with representatives of the school in an effort to strategize about acoustic remediations. However, this is a public address system, and it's meant to be loud across acres of property. TSC operates closely within those acres of property. If we do not find a resolution, and none has been proposed to date, this dangerous rezoning proposal will put Tennessee Shakespeare Company out of business at our current location. A high school on this heavy industrial property, further, is incompatible with both the use of this property and the earned revenue business of Tennessee Shakespeare Company. When I purchased TSC's property outright in 2017, I did so knowing that the surrounding zoning was consistent with and supportive of TSC's not-for-profit education and arts business use. This proposal dangerously alters that. I ask that the council not put school children in harm's way and not force Tennessee Shakespeare Company's closure of live classical theater performances at this site. Thank you.
We're gonna put a pin in that. I'm coming back to you. Don't know your name, Mr. Shakespeare. Walker Sims. All right, so who's next? Rachel? Is this Rachel? Hey, Rachel. Rachel, can you pronounce your last name for me?
Rachel Lambert.
Lambert, okay, cool.
7790 Fisher Steel.
Okay, Ms. Lambert.
So I'm here, my office is located, I'm actually in-house counsel for the gym complex, Memphis Pride, that's attached to where game day used to be. There was a game day field where they practiced did baseball for years, sold out, closed, and so now there is the Memphis Pride cheer gym that is right there that serves every school in this area. They service Collierville, they service Arlington, Houston, Bartlett, Lakeland, all the private schools. All their kids travel there to get private instruction and gym instruction for their school teams. So again, this is not about the school, it's about the location. We already have problems with children that are 16 years old driving to practice when they get out of school. They get out of school, they have to drive to practice, they have to get there. They're having to travel down defunct roads, lights that don't work, streets with no curbs, in traffic with traffic lights that don't work, street lights that get cut off and do not work. So you already have this influx of children and parents coming and going at all periods of time. Now you're talking about putting a school right next to this that's also going to be coming and going. Not only am I a business owner in that area, but I am a mother of 3 children, one of which is a high school student that could be going there. And I also have 2 8th graders, they're twins, that are high school eligible next year, that I would love to be able to put in this school. But would I put my children there? No. Because A, this has been historically a toxic dump of chemicals. The deed until a few days ago that Mr. Brady got released from CSX, this land was owned by Fisher Steel Lime and Cement Company. Everybody knows what those type companies do and what they dump in the ground. Moreover, they also turned over to a railroad company that did nothing but transport toxic chemicals. And they have been that historically for years. Every business around there relied on the fact that there would be no school, there would be no apartments, because the groundwater is not safe and everything else. Now, I understand CSX released this deed restriction a few days ago. I don't want to ask what they had to do to get that. However, the ongoing liability for this city, once parents know that this land has been historically used as a toxic dump, and this board has approved it despite the release of the deed restriction, everyone knows toxic chemicals migrate. They get in the water. There's an underground river flowing underneath that property. That's why you can't park on it. Let's get into parking. This is a fabulous school that's going to have multiple different activities for children to do. Not only are they going to have school hours, 7 to 2, 8 to 3, don't know, but you're going to try to stop Germantown Road traffic and with a crossing guard at one location, and you're going to tell high school children, oh, you can only cross at this light. There's no residences on the side of the industrial side. We all just saw the map. Residences are on the other side of Cordova. There's nothing that's by us. So are you going to have children out there playing Frogger on Germantown Road, getting run over during rush hour in the morning? I mean, that's essentially what you're going to have. I mean, I know I have children, and I raise them, and I give them instruction on a daily basis. Don't do this, don't do that. How many people have children, and how many times have your children listened to you 100% of the time? Because if you have one of those, please teach me. Because I can guarantee you, if I lived across the street and I told my child, you have to cross here, but they're running late, or they see their friend, or they want to go to Wendy's, or they want to get a burger, or they want to go to Starbucks, or they want to go to McDonald's, you know what they're going to do? They're going to be darting and dodging across Germantown Road. Heaven forbid it be during the holiday season, because anybody that's driven down Germantown Road, we don't want to drive down Germantown Road as it is now, much less throw in school buses, parents that are driving to and from school, teachers, staff. You've got custodial that's going to be there. And then you're going to bring in a TSSAA tournament. Let's talk about that. Where are they going to park? We just looked at the drone video where we saw that everything around is industrial. There's no curbs. There's no extra parking. They can't even park on the side of the road. So where are these people going to park when we're bringing into our landmark school that the system should be so proud of? Where are they going to park? Are they going to park at Stoff where they're doing hazardous waste and toxic chemicals to this day? It's in my backyard where my office is. Do you know how many times I've gotten a call because their assembly line has had a spill, and they were advising me, because luckily I'm the only one there during the day because the kids are at school, not there. But we're going to have a school catty corner to a hazardous manufacturing company that manufactures chemicals every day, hazardous. They have a spill. Now, how are we going to eliminate all these children out of this area so that they don't already get contaminated? On a road, one way in, one way out. Then you've got all these people that are practicing after school. You not only have the school hours, but then you're going to have band practicing. Mr. Shakespeare is going to have the band practicing outside all the time. You're going to have baseball. You're going to have football. You're going to have basketball. You're going to have volleyball. You're going to have all these sports overlapping each other with parents coming and going from practice. So it's not so simple of saying, oh, we can go in and we can go out and it's going to be this great school and the statute requires it. I agree the statute requires the school, but what the statute does not require is for this board to approve a school in the middle of a heavy industrial area. Ask yourself now, how many Memphis and Shelby County schools are currently in a heavy industrial area? I'll save you the time. None. You want to know why? Because it's not safe for children.
Excuse me. All right.
I could continue, but my time is up.
Thank you. Couple questions. Is Jesse Ford here? Jesse Ford? No Jesse Ford. All right. Mr. Sams? You don't want to speak? All right, Mr. Tony, are you here to speak? All right. All right, council members, we got a couple council members in the queue. All right, Councilwoman Walker, the floor is yours. Councilwoman Walker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I had a question about the building design. Whoever would like to respond to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Do you all have anything incorporated in the building design with respect to solar panels, EV chargers, things that support clean energy and sustainability?
It's not something we've considered, the solar panels or EV charging, but we do have other sustainable features in the building like LED lighting, low flow toilets, high efficiency mechanical systems, and other things like that.
Anything else?
Not off the top of my head, no ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I yield the floor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Walker. Councilwoman Logan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. I really appreciate that. And I wanted to ask about Superintendent, if you would, I had a question about, and I know you're not here to represent the board, but in terms of any other options for the location, I did hear a couple of things that really concerned me in terms of the dumping that would be here and the safety issue. Those were two major things. So I didn't know if y'all had done an environmental study on this property, and if so, what the findings were, and the safety or traffic study, what the findings were. If you could speak to that, and if there was another site that is being considered as well.
Sure. So good afternoon, Council.
And welcome. I'm sorry, welcome. I apologize for that. Welcome to council again.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So I think to your first question in terms of have we explored additional options, the short and long answer is yes. So during our time, I think this is time number 3 we've been on the agenda. We've taken a few additional opportunities to explore additional locations if that could be the case. Most of the barriers that we encountered would be size. And so right now, Germantown High School serves well over 1,800 students. In my research pre-COVID, well over 2,000. And so you know what comes with a new school. Students will and families will flock to the space. And so it is about building to serve who we have right now, but it's also about forecasting and building for the future. As it concerns, environmental studies, even when I heard the concerns expressed by many of the community members as well, some direct phone calls and reach outs, I reached back out to the team and my internal team. We took a deeper look at some of the outcomes and reached out to Tioga directly to have them to expound on the report to make sure it is as clear as possible, to do my due diligence because this is pre-me, but I want to make sure that I have a clear understanding of what we're agreeing to as well. And so those outcomes, as I continue to understand it as of today, remain fair and clean. Even CSX releasing, we know about railroads. Typically, you just don't allow much to be in the space because of a railroad company. And so that release by CSX is huge for us. My major concern and inquiry of everyone was about the toxic waste and the expressions of the same, what could be the impact, if any, and then certainly what exists right now. And so I've been given the go that we are okay. I've reviewed the report myself, and I feel confident that I would not put students or a community at risk intentionally, for sure. But I'll allow my partner to expound just a little bit more to give you details.
Councilwoman Logan, there have been 4 environmental assessments completed on the property. They all concluded that the site is clean. TDEC has reviewed those 4 site assessments, and they released a no additional action letter saying there's no additional remediation required. And then, of course, as Dr. Figgins just mentioned, CSX also released the deed restrictions that Mr. Norcross mentioned earlier as well. They would not have done so if there was any environmental considerations on the property. I think everybody on this body that's ever worked with CSX knows how difficult they can be. But even further, to expound upon that, we have Luke Hall, the senior geologist for Tioga, who prepared those assessments in the audience. If there's any pointed technical questions you might have for him, he can provide a lot more color than I can. I can simply say, yes, ma'am, those assessments were prepared, and the conclusions were the site is clean.
Okay, and thank you for that. And the traffic and safety issue, has a traffic study been done? And if so,
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And,
were there any issues with that?
So the Pickering performed a independent traffic study with the project, and it was submitted. Staff has reviewed it. There were no comments received from City of Memphis Traffic Engineering. Our project engineer and myself met with Randy Tatum at engineering and asked very pointed questions if there are any concerns. He said there are not any concerns that at this point in the game. You know, obviously as the design continues on, there may be little things that they want here or there, but the traffic study said there were no concerns. Since that time, also there was concerns about, mentioned by the opposition, about some of the traffic results from that study and failing intersections. So we had an additional traffic engineer, Kimley Horn, a very well-respected consulting engineering group here in Memphis, prepare another independent study, and they reviewed the existing traffic study and also compared it to other uses that are available by right on site that would, you know, not the extremes, but reasonable uses on site. And their summary is that it's comparable. And I have those documents here that I can share with the body, or I can also put them up on the screen as well. I have a copy of the deed release from CSX for you. I have a copy of the traffic study for you, and I have a copy of TDEC's no additional action letter for you. Yes, ma'am, they're right here, whomever I can hand
For
these
the
to.
sake of time, I would just like to have a copy myself. My third, and thank you for that. My third question was about additional sites, and the reason why I asked is because, you know, Cordova is a part of my district, and these are children of our community. We want them to have a very nice school, Germantown, the children that are coming, and the design was amazing, and we'd like for all children to be able to go to school in buildings, facilities like this. So, but one thing I do know, it's important for the community around the school to want the school to be there and to be a part of the school family and partner. And it appears that the opposition that has spoken today do not want the school to be there. And I don't know if they would be a good community partner for the school. And that is a very important part that I've seen over the years in having a healthy school environment be supported by the community. And unfortunately, I don't hear that support today. But you know, people are always talking about how the state of the young people in our community, but we have to sometimes make some hard decisions and choices to make a change in the lives of the young people. So I think if we're not going to embrace this as a community, we need to find a place that we can build a school like this and get everybody to be in support of it. I think we only heard from businesses today. I didn't hear from any residents, so I want to continue to explore that. But I think it's very important for everyone to be on the same page because we'll need the community as well. So if there is another spot, where are you in exploring that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Logan.
So yes, we did explore a few different spaces, and like I mentioned earlier, it's just about size. We're talking about the size of the building, as the, architects mentioned, the number of programs that currently exist at Germantown High School. We will have to be able to, stand those up and additional programs as we think about innovation and preparing our students for the world that exists now, and then one that, does not exist just yet, but they will go into. I do understand the concerns, although there have been no, community residents who have reached out during my tenure and during my review of previous conversations with the community. There were no notable concerns or outstanding items that, remain to answer. I will say, in my experience of almost 20 years and having stood up at least 3 schools and contributed to a $20 billion facilities master plan in a different space, I've never heard of a community being in direct opposition of an educational institution, one that serves and will serve our youngest leaders, but certainly our rising leaders who can go out into this business community that has been mentioned today and serve to enhance and strengthen the same. As a former cheerleader, I certainly understand how it is to get to a gym. I understand athletics and what the challenges, but also the opportunities when we think about big business and bringing more to the city of Memphis. That's what it's all about. As a prominent education institution, the education, a school is the hub of a community. And so looking forward to, should this move forward, partnering with those who have opposition and answering any detailed questions. There's always, as it concerns traffic and things of that nature, room to expand and consider to doing additional, actions, taking additional actions that are necessary to provide a heightened level of comfort as it concerns safety. We are concerned every day, all day about safety, 24/7, 365 days a year, 366 in a leap year, of the 111,000 and growing students that we have and the nearly 13,000 employees that we serve.
Okay.
So at the mass of Shelby County and the city of Memphis that we serve every day, we're certainly prepared to do the same in this space.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Logan. Thank you, Superintendent Fagans. All right, so going forward, brevity. Brevity in questions, brevity in responses. All right, Councilwoman Easter Thomas, the floor is yours. Dr. Easter Thomas. I'm gonna get it together at some point real soon.
Thank you, Chair. Question for the applicant, I guess, is I'm thinking about the video that was shown, and not just the traffic, but the businesses that are, I don't know what ordination that is, to the east or right there on the front of Germantown Parkway. And maybe our people can answer this, but has our traffic department, our engineering department what are they saying is the recourse for this? Because I'm sure that has to be figured out. I'm sure that was figured out before it was brought to us. So what are the recourse that you all have determined for the traffic? Like, are there going to be additional traffic lights? Is it going to be another road that reroutes to the school? Is it going to be an added street? What are the recourse options that were assumably already decided before it came for us for vote?
Yes, ma'am. There's a lot to unpack there, and we can certainly do so. Some of those questions were brought up by Ernie Norcross, or statements were made by Ernie Norcross. So all of the perimeter roads will be improved in accordance with the UDC to facilitate the school, the peripherals. That includes Moriarty. Forgive me, I just didn't want to pause and let you finish. So that includes Moriarty and the extension down to Kirby or Raleigh-LaGrange, whichever we're saying that was not shown on that aerial. So that is a component of this project, is an extension of Moriarty, which will further relieve traffic. The existing roads currently are substandard in the area, but they are public roads. The Unified Development Code requires a school to be located on an arterial road, which is another reason this was selected, which Germantown Parkway certainly is. There was a traffic study provided as required, and that has been reviewed by the Traffic Division. And again, we received no negative comments from them on that. Now, moving forward, as detailed site plans move forward, some of those details will continue to go to the engineering department for further review. And if there's a need for any further assessments or improvements at that time, they'll be identified. But because of that, you know, this is a 40-some-odd acre vacant piece of property with currently undersized roads in the periphery. We're going to be improving those roads as a product of this requirement, and that's in the plan development text. So again, we did provide the City of Memphis Traffic Engineering Division with a traffic study. They did review it. We received 0 negative comments on that division, or from that division, and we've also had a secondary independent traffic engineering group, Kimley Horn, review it to provide any further commentary that there was. So I hope that perhaps answers your question. There were ancillary recommendations that the Pickering, our private transportation engineers, brought to light, and those recommendations were acknowledged by the Traffic Engineering Division. They've been acknowledged by us.
So,
does that help answer?
So our Division of Traffic Engineering said that this was safe.
Yeah, so I asked the pointed question of Mr. Randall Tatum, who unfortunately isn't in the audience today, I do not believe. Does this rise to a level of concern that exceeds any other commercial development along this corridor? And the answer was no.
Do we have that traffic study where our division signed off on and said that it was okay?
It was submitted for and reviewed by staff. Staff will have a copy. I can certainly disseminate a copy to you guys, but that went to the Land Use Control Board. It was reviewed at that time, and that was a part of that presentation and discussion. Okay. But I'm happy to share that with you, ma'am.
Okay, we don't have that. So if we can, I got what you're saying. I'm saying that we don't have that. So that can be disseminated by email to us.
Absolutely.
So that we can see, because I just want to see what our Division of Traffic and Engineering said about that whole orientation.
Absolutely.
And I didn't catch everything that was said in response to Councilwoman Logan's question. But on another hand, is this our only option for this school?
So I will ask Dr. Fegans, a representative from the city schools, to discuss other sites that have been selected. But this site was selected because of its location. It satisfies the criteria that's outlined in the Unified Development Code, the size of it, and also the area around. There's a lot from the opposition statements that I wanted to provide some rebuttal to. There's uses permitted that are being contested.
You don't have to give me the rebuttals. I'm
Correct.
just asking, is there a plan B? And I'm just asking, just based on whatever our Division of Traffic or Engineering gets back to us, because you can't deny that video looks a little scary.
But again, so the answer.
So if we're approving things like this to happen, we just want to be assured that we did our due diligence in approving something that is safe and really, being able to accompany all the thoughts of safety around everything that comes with a school, because that would still be partly on us as the approving body to be able to have that happen. So I'll just say that it looks like I don't know if we're gonna vote today, but I would ask for that study to get to us. I would even motion. Can I motion a hold?
So we have a couple. We're gonna let a couple other council members queue, but I will know, council members, we've held this item. This might be our third time we held it. All right. So we're Councilwoman Easter Thomas. We're gonna come back to you because I know you want to make a motion.
Can I answer a question very briefly? The answer is yes. That's all I wanted to say. We will disseminate those.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman Easter Thomas. Dr. Easter Thomas, thank you. Councilman Warren, you're in the queue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to ask the current speaker, what items were you wanting to rebut and what were you going to say?
Well, I just was going to go through each of the items that need to be addressed. The deed restrictions obviously been addressed. That no longer exists. We just spoke about Moriarty and the substandard nature of the roads in that area, so I don't necessarily need to regurgitate
Let me
that.
hold right there for a second.
I'm sorry?
I mean, I think we all looked at those roads with the video, I know, even though it was a drone. I think if you're doing this, it's sort of obvious that you're going to have to put a bigger road around the entire school.
Correct.
Is that in the funding that you have for the school
yes, sir.
right now?
That is in part of the budget as a site improvements for this project.
And
Memphis Shelby County Schools.
Specifically, a road expanded around the entire school is part of the expansion budget that you've already got budgeted. Is that correct?
Yes, the features of this plan development are included in the budget.
Okay, so keep going. What else were you?
There were some concerns by Mr. McCleary, and before I get it, this has been a very respectful conversation. We've had numerous meetings, and they've all been very pleasant. Everybody here is respectful individuals, but there are a couple things I want to address. So the public address, the PVA, I don't think it has been clear to the property owner that that use is currently permitted by right on this site. A stadium, recreational facility with lights, amphitheaters, concert hall, that is a right that is permitted today by right. They can.
So it may be permitted right now, but it's not there now.
Correct.
And he
correct.
is.
Correct.
Okay, so I mean, and the next person may not have a PA. If you guys aren't there, then you can see why it would be better for him not to have a PA, period. So how do you make him whole?
So that was the second part of that question. So even though that use is a right that's permitted by the zoning ordinance, we have hired, or Memphis Shelby County Schools has employed a acoustical consultant to analyze the existing facility, to analyze the location of the settled recreational fields, the PA system, and make whatever concessions are necessary based on that result. Now, I will say that that has not happened yet, and Mr. McCleary and some of the architects were in that meeting. I can't speak exactly to that meeting, but that is something that the school system has committed to do, which is above and beyond, and that is to have an additional consultant study these concerns from the respective neighbor.
Thank you. Don't go away.
Yes.
Colleagues, I was on the school board, and I may be the last one of us that had served on a school board. And I can tell you that when we were, we don't have Martavius, we don't have Patrice now, so I got to hold it up for them. I'm going to hold it down. But I can tell you that as we were trying to build new schools, it was incredibly hard to find sites. As we looked across the city and you think about, where you can put a school and all the things that go into it, those things are hard. So when these guys are telling us they've looked at other sites, they haven't found anything that is as good as this or works as well as this, I think it behooves us to listen to them because they've been looking, and it's really hard to find a place. So if you have any more rebuttals, I'm going to yield my time to my colleagues after this. Do you have anything else you need to rebut you didn't get out?
Although Dr. Warren, you're usurping the process. There is a specific time on the clock, and we've allowed him to go on.
But just one more rebuttal. What else is the most important thing you wanted to say?
Two things I just really want to underscore.
Hold up. We're not going to do that.
Okay, forgive me.
Madam Comptroller, can we put 2 minutes on the clock? All right, you got 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So specifically, a couple of things. The safety concerns, the environmental concerns, I think that we have shown that those are no longer valid on this site. We have done our due diligence. The health, safety, and welfare of the students of Memphis Shelby County Schools is of the utmost importance and priority to Memphis Shelby County Schools. There is a lot of anxiety and concern associated with the unknown. We understand that, but we assure this body that our team has addressed every possible concern that we know, from engineering to architecture to environmental to safety to everything here and there and beyond. There are over 108 uses permitted by right on this piece of property. 103 of those uses are of a higher intensity than the school that we're proposing. So to suggest that this school, number one, is a toxic dump, that is a misstatement that has been proven false. Number two, to suggest that nothing is ever going to happen on this site is a mistake, and that is proven false because, again, 108 uses permitted by right, which go from the gamut of the worst to just below single-family residential are permitted on this site.
What's the worst thing that could be on that site?
This is my opinion, adult-oriented facilities are on it. I mean, I can go on, but at the bottom of the list, sexual establishments, there are waste-related services, chemical plants, warehouse distributions. All of these things generate traffic trips and issues and whatnot, but also, not to be an alarmist, there are other uses, convenience stores, commercial mixed-use developments, and the fact that this was game day. It was originally a TSSAA facility, so the very thought of having facilities and PA systems and the traffic and the parking related to it, that was what was approved on this site. So we have gone above and beyond that. We've tried to protect the neighbors. We've applied buffers. We've taken the zoning ordinance that is tied to it, and we have built upon those to give us as much cushion as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
With that, you're out of time. Thank you, Dr. Warren. Councilman Ford, Sr., you said you got one question.
I have one question. Well, I really got two now. Since Dr. Warren talked,
go ahead.
I got another question. Well, I got not really a question, the second one. Okay, first question. Do you have the money to build this school?
Yes, there is money in the budget to build this school. The next stage of development design, it decides how much the school is going to cost and how it's going to be phased in for construction.
No, that's not, you didn't answer my question.
The budget should be Dr. Fegan's or Memphis Shelby County Schools.
Okay, excuse me. So a couple things. One, I have a sneaky suspicion that your statement regarding there's funding in the budget to build this school, I don't think that's true.
There you go.
That's then been much presented to me. Dr. Fegans can speak to it.
I don't think that's true. Next thing, Dr. Fegans. I'm just pronouncing her name correctly. I was just making sure we pronounce her name correctly. It's Fegans. 14.
Okay, other thing I got to say, you know, I'm the oldest council member here. I've been here before. Property, what you're saying where you're trying to build, that was a school built during the last time I was on the council. You know, they had a lot of problems. They had lawsuits, everything else. You know, that school kind of sunk. Okay, from the architects and everything else, they did not do their due diligence. They just wanted to build on this particular property. I just want to bring that out to y'all too, because that site that you got, more of a dump site to me, you know, and then you got children that's going to be there, you know, health purpose, everything else, you know, those are some real concerns, okay? And since you mentioned that you got the money, which I know you do not, okay? I'm talking. I don't want you to answer and tell me nothing else wrong, okay? But you do not have that. I think we need to move back to what Dr. Easton Thomas said, hold this, let them get some more information, everything else, and then we can come back and look at it again, because I know the funds are not there right now. We got too many other things to deal with right now, and then especially putting kids at risk. You know, if you go out there by Baptist Hospital East, the school out there, you know, it's so dangerous. And it looks like y'all trying to put the same people, these children, in that same type danger. That's not a good thing to do. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Ford. I know Councilman Canale wants to close it out. Councilwoman Cooper Sutton, you going to talk to us? Councilwoman Cooper Sutton?
I do. I'm sorry, Chairman. I have a question.
Hold up. I know Councilman Canale wants to
I'm sorry.
say a couple words. Councilman Canale, the floor is yours, good sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Colleagues, as I mentioned earlier, I met with both sides. I want to thank Mr. Brady for coming to my office and meeting with me and explaining the whole project. And I want to thank you for all your hard work. To the architect that drew this school is phenomenal. And I think that this would be an amazing opportunity for MSCS. However, I do not think this is the right location. I've listened to the neighbors, the business owners, and you've heard from a couple of them today. I've also spoken to some residential neighbors who are not here today, unfortunately, so you can't hear from them. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is what Mr. Norcross talked about, is traffic and the safety of our children. You see the surrounding businesses, and you know for a fact that when school lets out, and if you've been around any of our other schools, whether public or private, when school lets out, kids go everywhere. So if you think for a second that all the parents of underage driving, kids that cannot drive yet, are going to sit in that car line and wait and instead say, go and I'm going to pick you up down the street, you're naive. That happens all over our city every single day. And all it would take is one child getting run over crossing Germantown Parkway or one of those other streets for us to know that we made a horrible decision. Again, I hope that Shelby County finds the $212 million to build this school, and I know that Councilwoman Dr. East Thomas hopes that they have all the money to do Fraser as well. But not here in this location. Again, I support the design. I think this is phenomenal and something that our kids deserve. But I think that this is the wrong location at this point for this high school. And I think that we've gotten enough information. Of course, if this body chooses to hold it for longer, then I'm okay with that. But I think we've gotten enough information. I think we can make a decision tonight. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, so we heard from Vice Chairman Canale. We heard from a lot of members. I'm just going to echo Vice Chairman Canale. It's a beautiful school. We've heard from, if your email looks like mine or the calls that you receive, you know, whether we're talking about the business community, whether we're talking about the residents, you know, to make a plan. I don't think they're feeling it. I think that's ultimately where it is. They're not feeling this school in this particular location. It's beautiful. I always talk about how nice Carville School is. And I think every kid in the city of Memphis deserves to go into a school that looks like that, but just not in this location. Just not in this location. If there's another location that you all find soon, I'd be happy to support it. But I just don't think this is going to be the proper location. But I'm only one vote. I'll be voting no. And we'll see what happens. Councilwoman Easter Thomas said she wanted to make a motion. This item has been held twice. I hope we can just vote it up or down today, no matter how it happens. It's been a long one. And we got another one that's going to be as long right after this.
We've held items for longer. I do want to motion. I just want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence for seeing all the pieces. And I don't think that you all's presentation is as inclusive of information that we're talking about. I would like to motion for a hold. If you all can bring back a traffic safety plan that you all have vetted by our traffic of engineering, because it's something that we don't have. So I don't want to say yes or no before we have the main information on which we're all talking about. I think that's fair, I would hope. So I'm motioning for a hold for, what is this?
Objection.
December. Just because I want to give due diligence and be fair, and let's be clear, we've been holding stuff all year, so this is nothing different. If you're able to do that, if you're amenable to that, if you don't want to have a traffic study, that's fine, and I'll withdraw my motion to hold. But I want to be as fair as possible. So
second.
That's all I want to do.
Properly moved by Dr. Councilwoman Easter Thomas. I got to write that time on the first try. Properly seconded by Councilwoman Logan, and then I think Dr. Warren objection. So, Madam Comptroller, could you please prepare the screen for special item number 1? I think this is the special item number 1, and it's to. And what was the date, Councilwoman Easter Thomas? Motion to hold until
17th
when?
of December.
Until when?
December 17th. Is that our next?
No, can it be? Can we push it to January? I won't be here for that. I do want to take a vote on this item. So can we push it to the next meeting if the whole passes?
Where are you going? Oh. So the next meeting is January 7th. Is that our first?
That's a good
meeting in
question.
January? Can anybody confirm?
We hadn't actually passed that yet.
So we haven't passed
If
it
we
yet.
pass the ordinance, is that our first meeting? Yes or no? What's the first meeting in January? Can
It
anybody
sounds right. We can amend. We can always change it. So
I
to the
motion
first
for a
meeting in
hold to
January.
First meeting in January. Assumably that it'll be accompanied with a traffic safety plan that has been vetted by our Division of Traffic and Engineering.
Absolutely. Thank you for the potential accommodation.
All right. Thank you.
Chair, I'd like to add a friendly amendment that it also, and I don't know if it's friendly, also have a presentation from our traffic department who did a study on Cordova some years ago that we need to hear from, so with both of them.
That's probably be included in the plan.
I don't think they have that, but.
This is the longest amendment I ever heard.
Yeah, but,
It's a long
it in
amendment. So what's your
plan.
amendment?
that in addition to their study, our study is included as well if it has not been.
Director, I'm cautious to have you come to this mic. But I do believe that we've articulated what the amendment is. And if not, if there's any ambiguity, I think Councilwoman Easter Thomas will send you an email assuming the motion to hold pass. I'm gonna vote against the motion, but if it may pass, we get that information. All right, Madam Controller, could you prepare the screen? All right, for clarity purpose, a yes vote, we're holding this item for the third time to the first meeting in January. A no vote means we take a vote today and dispose of this item today, whether it passes or fails. Council members, please cast your votes.
Canale, no. Cooper Sutton, no. Easter Thomas, yes. Ford, yes. Green, recuse. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, no. Warren, yes. And Smiley, chair, no.
This item fails. This item fails.
He said yes.
Madam Comptroller, could you please call item number 4 for a vote? Prepare the screen for item number 4. A yes vote approves the school location, no vote, it fails. Council member, hold up. Clarity purposes. Council members, a yes vote, the school passes, the location passes. A no vote, this item fails. Council members, please cast your vote. Council members, if you recuse, please remember to hit recuse. Councilwoman Walker, you have a point of information? Okay. Has everybody cast their vote? Up or down?
You ready, Mr. Chair?
I'm assuming every council member voted. Let's see what happens.
Canale, no. Cooper Sutton, no. Easter Thomas abstained. Ford, no. Green, recused. Logan, abstained. Spinoza, no. Swearingen, Washington, no. Walker, no. Warren, yes. White, recused. Chairman Smiley, no.
This item fails. Madam Comptroller, could you please call whatever I think Red Oaks is 8. Madam Comptroller, could you please call 8?
Oh, you got it? Item number 8 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a planned development at the subject property located at 4701 Boeingshire Drive. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. It was held from October 15th. The case number is PD 23-29.
Vice Chairman Canale, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee met and did not make a recommendation on this project. I would like to note for the record that I met the applicant's representative and the neighbors of Red Oaks out there on Friday. We had a meeting to see if there was any common ground to be had. I think we'll hear from both sides tonight and see where both people stand. I appreciate both of you taking your time out of your Friday afternoon to meet with me. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I move to the floor.
All right, properly moved by Kennelly, seconded by Swearingen Washington. The guy who plays an attorney on TV, he's going to give us a brief presentation. Director Whitehead. I don't think, do we need a presentation on this? No presentation? Oh, what I call him? I called you Whitehead.
You did.
Yeah. He's not here today, is he? Okay, good. Director Zena? My bad. Can we just call the question on this one? Yes. All right. Madam Comptroller, could you please prepare the screen? Hold up. I'm sorry. Do we have any cards on this one? There's no cards on this one? Hold up. My apologies. Take that down. I didn't call the cards. I was being told what to do today. Councilwoman Logan told me I need to speed it up. We have 3 cards. Devern Johnson. Name, address for the record, 2 minutes on the clock. And we may or may not speed it up. I'm teasing.
Hi, my name is Devern Johnson. My address is 4766 Borenshire. First of all, we would like to thank the City Council, Walker, Yolanda Cooper Sutton, and Dee Connelly for the visit at the proposed development site on Borenshire. The community opposition to this project has been voiced since January 2024. First to the Land Use Control Board and on several occasions to this council. These objections include, but are not limited to, the development plans and design appear poorly suited to the area. There is a lack of transparency regarding the intended purpose of the housing and the target demographic on behalf of...
I'm sorry, I hate to cut you off. Council members, I would like to recognize, I think Troop 55 from Sac and Press. Can we show them love? Thank you all for being here. And I think active participation in the government is what makes our council strive to do better. So continue coming out. Thank you for being here. And Dr. Warren, I'm not sure if you played a part in it, but I give you the credit today. Thank you all so much. Sorry for cutting you off. I feel like we may need to start over. Okay.
Start over.
My apologies. All right, let's give them an opportunity to get out so we can hear Ms. Johnson. And again, my apologies for cutting you off. We're going to put 2 more minutes on the clock. All right, we can start again. 2 minutes on the clock. You don't have to say your name and address for the record, but go ahead.
Okay, first of all, we would like to thank the City Council, Walker, Yolanda Cooper Sutton, and Dee Connelly for the visit at the proposed development site on Borenshire. Community opposition to this project has been voiced since January 2024, first to the Land Use Control Board and on several occasions to this council. These objections include, but are not limited to, the development plans and design appear poorly suited to the area. There is a lack of transparency on behalf of the developer regarding the intended purpose of the housing and the target demographics. None of the drawings or plans submitted reflect space for play areas or adequate backyard space. Additionally, housing that would no doubt include children so near one of the most dangerous intersections in Memphis will present a safety issue. State records revealed a leaking underground storage tank site with a confirmed release in close proximity to the proposed project. And according to the applicant, a Phase 1 environmental study of the property has been made. However, when asked, no information was provided on the release of this study to the council. We remain concerned that there may be environmental concerns to address before using the parcels for any development. It is for this reason, along with many detailed concerns presented before this council since April 2024, that we respectfully request that the council vote no to the proposed project 2023-29. Thank you.
Thank you so much. DeBoer Griffith. Ms. DeBoer, you yield your time? All right, you sure? You ain't gonna get it back now. All right, okay. All right, Miss Lawrence Coleman? Larice Coleman? Yes, I yield my time. All right, I want you to, hey, you here for? All right, we're gonna put 2 more minutes on the clock, and then we're gonna go to the vote. Do you need 2 more minutes, or you ready for us to take a vote?
No, we're ready for the vote because we don't want to be redundant on what we're saying, and we've been here for a long time. So we appreciate you taking the vote and being considerate.
You are a gentlewoman and a scholar. All right, I'm cutting up today. We do want to hear from the applicant. You want to say a few words? A few means brief.
Yeah.
Okay.
David Bray with the Bray Firm, 2950 Stage Plaza North. We also appreciate the opportunity to meet with Councilman Canale and the neighbors the other day. We've changed this plan. As you guys are aware, it's approved for commercial uses. That can be built by right today. We started off with 11 units. We've dropped it to 6. At the last meeting, we showed them where the numbers compare, that our lot sizes are comparable to the 4 lots that abut us, that our house sizes will be comparable to the 4 houses that would abut us. We offered if they had any suggestions on increased setbacks or anything like that, we'd be more than happy to meet them. We've tried to work with the neighbors. We hope you guys will vote this up. We think it would be a good project for the area. But we understand that everybody is tired of debating this particular issue. Thank you.
Mr. Bray, you're a good man too. All right, we have 2 council members in the queue. Brevity. All right, Councilwoman Swearingen Washington, the floor is yours, followed by Councilwoman
Thank
Walker.
you, Chair. We asked for community members to come out and share their sentiments of how they feel about projects. Red Oaks has come time and time again. They have shared that they do not want this project in their community. They have come time and time again. So we need to consider them, their thoughts of what they want in their neighborhood. They know what they want in their neighborhood, and they don't want this project. Thank you. I yield the floor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Swearingen Washington. Councilwoman Walker, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I have an aerial view of that corner, and council members, you all are looking at that map. Director Zena, do you have it to put on the screen? Thank you. And while he's queuing it up, I want to thank the Red Oaks community for their due diligence, and they literally have been dealing with this since January of this year. And I just want you all to know that I am so very proud of you. I'm so very proud of you. So the proposed development is to be in the section that's outlined in blue, and it has a continuing point has been made that if the development doesn't go up, then it's zoned for other things to take place, other commercial things to take place. However, void of the conversations are the sections on the north end, the yellow one and the orange one. So if unfortunately this would pass and the houses would be in the blue section, what about the yellow and the orange section? Do you think people would want to pay $300,000 for a home and then they're right next to the yellow and the orange section where retail and other different types of retail, commercial businesses would take place? So I just wanted to make that point. Basically, most of the maps that we have seen highlighted the blue area where the houses are supposed to go. But I just wanted to, again, bring to your attention the area right next to it that would still be zoned for commercial as well. And again, I am asking my colleagues to vote no on this development. The community does not want it. And again, they have been dealing with this since January of this year. It is now November. What a wonderful Christmas gift it would be to the Red Oaks community if we could vote no on this development.
Thank you, Councilwoman Walker.
And I yield the floor.
Shout out to this area view. Thank you, Red Oaks community. My colleagues know that I can't see this far, but I see all that red out there. And I do want to get home safely. Council members, Madam Comptroller, can you call the question? Council members, please cast your vote.
Canale, no. Cooper Sutton, no. Ford, no. Green, no. Logan, no. Spinoza, no. Swearingen, Washington, no. Walker, no. White, no. Chairman Smiley, no.
Fails. Madam Comptroller, would you please take us to item 6?
Item number 6 is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a special use permit at the subject property located at 681, 685, and 659 Philadelphia Street, and 680, 688, 693, and 687 New York Street. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. Case number is SUP 24-32.
Councilman Ford Sr., you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Committee met, recommends approval, and I so move.
Item was moved by Ford Sr., seconded by Green. Any members of the body want to hear from either DPD or the applicant? This item was heard in committee, and like you said, received favorable recommendation. Nobody? You can prepare the voting screen, please.
Canale, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes.
Oh, y'all need my vote? You need my vote?
How many you got now?
How many you got? 7.
All right, that item passes. Please take us to item 7.
Is a resolution pursuant to Chapter 9.6 of the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, approving a special use permit at the subject property located at 4744 Dodd Road. This resolution is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is SUP 24-33.
Councilman Ford Sr., you're recognized.
What's wrong?
About that, committee met, recommend approval, and I so move.
Okay. Item was moved. We moved electronically, please. Item was moved by Ford Sr., seconded by Swearingen, Washington. Any member want to see a presentation from DPD or hear from the applicant? I need one member to come back to the dais, please. Colleagues, we've lost our quorum. I need somebody to come back to the dais. We can't cast a vote.
don't know what happened. Was there a fire drill that I missed? Okay, please prepare the voting screen. Number 7.
Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes.
Yes.
Please show Spinoza is voting yes. Also show Council Chair Canali is voting yes.
Thank you.
And let's not show Smiley. He's voting from his podium. Also in white, yes.
Sorry about that. That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to item 10.
Thank you. Item number 10 is a zoning ordinance up for third reading. It's an ordinance amending ordinance number 5367 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Memphis, Tennessee, adopted on August 10, 2010, as amended, known as the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, to authorize a zoning use district reclassification for land located on the east side of Waring Road, south of Sam Cooper Boulevard, by taking the land out of the residential single-family and employment use districts and including it in the residential urban use district. Up for third and final reading, this ordinance is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development.
Councilman Ford Sr.
Thank you, Chair. Committee man recommends approval, and I so move.
Was moved by Ford Sr., second by Swearingen, Washington. Any member wish to see a presentation from DPD or hear from the applicant? All right, please prepare the voting screen.
Canali, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. White, yes.
Thank you very much.
That item passes. Colleagues, just for clarification purposes, item number 9 was withdrawn. The companion piece case was item number 11. So, Madam Comptroller, if you please take us there now.
Item number 11 is a zoning ordinance amending ordinance number 5367 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Memphis, Tennessee, adopted on August 10th, 2010, as amended, known as the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, to authorize a zoning use district reclassification for land located at 3230 Commercial Parkway on the east side of Elvis Presley Boulevard, plus or minus 200 feet north of Commercial Parkway Road, by taking the land out of the residential single-family use district and including it in the commercial use district. Up for third and final reading, this ordinance is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. This was held from October 1st.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Councilman Ford Sr., you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. This item was sent down with unfavorable recommendation. I so move.
Item was moved by Ford Sr., seconded by Cooper Sutton. Colleagues, if you remember, we discussed this item earlier in P&Z. Any member wish to hear from DPD again or the applicant? No. Madam Comptroller, you can prepare the voting screen, please.
Canali, no. Cooper Sutton, no. Ford, no. Green, no. Logan, no. Spinoza, no. Swearingen, Washington, no. And White, no.
That item fails. Madam Comptroller, please take us to the MLGW fiscal consent. You may want to take a deep breath and maybe a drink of water before you begin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That will take us to item number 22. a resolution approving change number 4 to contract number 12103, workers' compensation stop-loss brokering with Willis of Tennessee, Inc., to ratify and renew the current contract in the funded amount of $385,008. Item number 23 is a resolution approving the sale of division-owned property located at 2424 Summer Avenue to Townsend Development, LLC, for the purchase price of $417,750. There is a request for same-night minutes for item 23. Item number 24 is a resolution awarding purchase order to Elgin Power Solutions, Inc. for a mobile circuit breaker trailer in the amount of $846,965. Item number 25 is a resolution approving the first one-year option to renew purchase order number 7017581 to GE Grid Solutions, LLC, formerly Alstrom Grid, LLC, for instrument transformers with additional funding of $605,000. Item number 26 is a resolution approving change number 4 to contract number 12191, professional engineering services for gas engineering and operations with Mid-South Engineering Consultants, LLC, to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $50,000. Item number 27 is a resolution approving change number 3 to contract number 12263, Panya Software as a service with Panyana Incorporated, to ratify and renew the current contract in the funded amount of $259,000. Item number 28 is a resolution approving change number 1 to contract number 12297, VMware 3-year enterprise license agreement with Thomas Galloway Corporation, doing business Technologent, to renew the current contract in the funded amount of $4,199,800.02. Item number 29 is a resolution awarding contract number 12498, Enterprise Sand Switch Upgrade to Logicalis, Inc., in the funded amount of $4,360,227.45. Item number 30 is a resolution awarding contract number 12501, Enterprise Synergy Frames and Gen 11 Compute Modules to Logicalis, Inc., in the funded amount of $1,209,750.19. Item number 31 is a resolution awarding purchase order for solid soft drone wire to Automotive Tool Group in the amount of $212,000. Item number 32 is a resolution awarding a 60-month purchase order to Howard Industries, Inc. for single-phase pole-type distribution transformers in the amount of $38,351,489.11. Item number 33 is a resolution awarding a 60-month purchase order to Howard Industries, Inc. for 3-phase pad-mounted distribution transformers in the amount of $52,922,120.09. Item number 34 is a resolution awarding a 60-month purchase order to Howard Industries, Inc. for 2-phase pad-mounted distribution transformers in the amount of $230,849.82. Item 35 is a resolution awarding a 60-month purchase order to Howard Industries, Inc. for single-phase pad-mounted distribution transformers in the amount of $39,586,351. I broke it. Item number 36 is a resolution awarding purchase order to Howard Industries, Inc. for transformer CL 3000 kVA in the amount of $433,245. Item number 37 is a resolution approving the ratification of purchase order number 7060367 to Chuck Hudden Chevrolet Company for half-ton pickup trucks in the amount of $160,249.76. Item number 38 is a resolution approving a 4-month extension of purchase order number 7049838 with Staples Contract and Commercial Guy Brown LLC via Sourcewell's local government agency and service cooperative contract number 012320 SCC for office supplies and toners with additional funding of $200,000. Item number 39 is a resolution approving payment of an invoice from Tennessee Department of Transportation, TDOT, for the Summer Avenue Improvement Project in the amount of $73,800 to relocate MLGW fiber optic electric distribution utilities. There is a request for same night minutes. Item number 40 is a resolution approving payment of an invoice from Tennessee Department of Transportation, TDOT, for the Summer Avenue Improvement Project in the amount of $809,005 to relocate MLGW gas distribution utilities. There is a request for same night minutes. Item number 41 is a resolution approving payment of an invoice from Tennessee Department of Transportation, TDOT, for the Summer Avenue Improvement Project in the amount of $2,179,574.16. Item number 42 is a resolution approving payment of an invoice from Tennessee Department of Transportation, TDOT, for the Summer Avenue Improvement Project in the amount of $4,740,825.60 to relocate MLGW water distribution utilities. There is a request for same night minutes. And our last item is 43. It's a resolution approving an annual salary in the amount of $165,859.20 for a candidate for the position of Director of Customer Care. There's a request for same night minutes for that one also, Mr. Chairman, and that concludes the items.
Very well done, Madam Comptroller. Councilman Spinoza, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Committee met recommends approval, and I so move.
The MLGW fiscal consent was moved by Spinoza, seconded by Swearingen Washington. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Canali, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen Washington, yes. Walker, yes. And White, yes.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, will you please take us to our consent agenda, which would be items 12 through 18, but we are also adding 47 and 48 to consent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to start with item number 12. It's a zoning ordinance up for first reading. It's an ordinance amending ordinance number 5367 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Memphis, Tennessee, adopted on August 10th, 2010, as amended, known as the Memphis and Shelby County Unified Development Code, to authorize a zoning use district reclassification for land located at 0 Sweeney Road by taking the land out of the residential single-family use district and including it in the employment use district. Up for first reading, this ordinance is sponsored by the Division of Planning and Development. The case number is Z24-08. The ordinance number is 5919. We have a notation from DPD for a case that went to the Land Use Control Board, and it was heard, and there's a recommendation making a request for public hearing. The case number is A. It's a street name change, 24-01, from Park Lane and Bates Alley to Stereo Alley. And as noted, that suggested date will be our next meeting, November 26, 2024. Item number 14 is a resolution approving the engineering plans for Chick-fil-A Uptown Memphis store, number 5543, and accepting bond as security. There is a request for same-night minutes. The contract number is CR-5465. Item number 15 is a resolution approving the final plat for Ajax Distributing Memphis Murray Farms Plan Development Phase 2 and Appling I-40 Northwest Plan Development and accepting bond as security. There's a request for same-night minutes. The contract number is CR-5466. Item number 16 is a resolution accepting public improvements for Rains Road Plan Development Amended Phase 4, Parcel B, and releasing bond. There is a request for same-night minutes. The contract number is CR-5322. Item number 17 is a resolution approving supplemental agreement number 2 at Harmony at Morning Grove, Morning Woods Plan Development Phase 4. There is a request for same-night minutes. The original contract was 5436, and the new contract is 5436 amended. Item number 18 is a resolution approving an honorary street name change on Ridgemont Avenue between New Allen Road and Egypt Central Road for Pastor Noah Alexander, District 1, Super District 9. This resolution is sponsored by Councilwoman Logan. There is a request for same-night minutes. We have 2 additional ordinances up for first reading from our add-ons. The first one is an ordinance to amend Chapter 25, Pension and Retirement System of the City of Memphis, Tennessee. Up for first reading, ordinance number 5920 is sponsored by the administration, and that has been added on for first reading. Item number 48 is an ordinance to establish Memphis City Council meeting dates for 2025, up for first reading. Ordinance number 5921 is sponsored by Chairman Smiley. There was a request to add this on for the first reading. And that concludes our consent agenda items, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Councilwoman Swearingen, Washington.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met, and there was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
Fiscal consent was, or I'm sorry, not the fiscal, the consent agenda was moved by Swearingen, Washington, seconded by Espinosa. Seeing no members in the queue, please prepare the voting screen.
Chair, this says that we're voting on the fiscal consent.
Can you change the? All right, now should we be able to, all right.
We'll do a roll call vote, please, on this agenda.
Okay.
This is our consent agenda reading. Canale?
Yes.
Thank you. Carlisle is absent. Cooper Sutton? Easter Thomas?
This is for the consent agenda. How do you vote?
Consent agenda.
Okay.
Cooper Sutton, yes. Easter Thomas, not in the seat. Ford, consent agenda. Thank you. Green, thank you. Logan, consent agenda. Spinoza, thank you. Swearingen, Washington, thank you. Walker, consent agenda. Thank you. Warren, not in the seat. White, thank you. That concludes our consent agenda, sir. It passed. Everyone voted except Carlisle. Warren, and Easter Thomas.
Thank you. That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us now to our fiscal consent agenda, starting with item 19.
Item number 19 is a resolution to accept grant funds in the amount of $30,000 from the African American Mayors Association for Economic Mobility Leadership Institute. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the Executive Division. There is a request for same-night minutes. Item number 20 is a resolution to accept grant funds in the amount of $75,000 from International Paper to support Lit Meets Rec 24 Literacy Project. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Memphis Parks. There is a request for same-night minutes. Item number 21 is a resolution to accept grant funds from the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security in the amount of $500,000 to provide for salary, supplies, and travel. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by Police Services. There is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilwoman Swearingen, Washington.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
Fiscal consent was moved by Swearingen, Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Please prepare the voting screen.
Canali, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. White, yes. Walker, yes. Showalker is voting yes on this item.
That item passes. Madam Comptroller, please take us to item number 44.
Item number 44 is on our add-ons. It's a resolution to transfer and appropriate funds from various existing projects to Harbor Avenue repaving, project number PW04118, to general 20% local match required by TDOT for additional grant funds. District 6, Super District 8. This resolution is sponsored by the administration. There is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilwoman Swearingen, Washington.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
Moved by Swearingen, Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Please prepare the voting screen.
Canali, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. And White, yes.
That item passes. Please call item 45.
Item number 45, Mr. Chairman, is a resolution expressing official intent that certain expenditures be incurred in connection with designated paving operations performed by Public Works be funded via inter-category transfer of revenue funds to expense account in Public Works Street Maintenance Department. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the administration, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilwoman Swearingen, Washington.
Thank you, Chair. The committee met. There was a favorable recommendation, and I so move.
Item was moved by Swearingen, Washington, seconded by Spinoza. Please prepare the voting screen.
Canali, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. White, yes. Walker, yes. Please show Ms. Walker is voting yes.
That item passes. Please call item 46.
Item number 46 is a resolution to allocate and appropriate $2,600,000 in City Council Community Grant Funds to nonprofit agents for FY25. All council districts. This resolution is sponsored by the Budget Committee, and there is a request for same-night minutes.
Councilman Ford Sr., you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Committee met recommends approval, and I so move.
Item is moved by Ford Sr., seconded by Swearingen Washington. I do have one comment card for 46, Kristen Fox Troutman. You are recognized. Name and address, please. You have 2 minutes.
Hello and good evening. Address 35 South Auburndale Street, 38104. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this evening. My name is Kristen Fox Troutman, and I'm the Executive Director for Samaritan Counseling Centers of the Mid-South. I am here tonight to humbly request that you please consider funding our FY25 grant application for $50,000. For over 43 years, Samaritan has been providing hope and healing through affordable, accessible, high-quality professional counseling for individuals, couples, children, teens, and families of all racial and socioeconomic backgrounds. The need for mental health services, as we know, is at an all-time high. 1 in 5 adults struggles with a mental health challenge. The second leading cause of death among children ages 10 to 14 is suicide. While this need is growing, access to mental health services remains unacceptably low. 50% of youth and adults who need mental health care do not have access. And cost is often the most significant barrier. Samaritan is helping to meet this growing need by providing a sliding scale fee structure and a low fee supplement fund funded by grants and donations that is used to offset the fees of low-income clients who could otherwise not afford services. They are allowed to pay as low as $20 per session. With your support, we will be able to sustain and grow access to high-quality counseling in the city of Memphis to those who could otherwise not afford it. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the work that Samaritan does. I can assure you that you have my support, and I hope my colleagues as well. I agree with you. I think we're certainly in a mental health crisis in the United States, and we need more counseling services like Samaritan. So thank you. Thank you for those words.
Thank you.
Please prepare the voting screen for 46, Madam Comptroller.
Canali, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. White, yes. Item passes. Please show Cooper Sutton is voting yes. Thank you.
Colleagues, before we go to our same night minute items, I would like to take a moment of personal privilege and say to each one of you and to the members that left, it's been the honor of a lifetime to serve the citizens of Memphis alongside you. I'm deeply grateful, humbled, and honored for your confidence and your support. I would challenge each of you, including myself, to keep it Memphis focused. Let's do the best we can to make sure that all districts 1 through 7 are succeeding, and that we work alongside Mayor Young and make this the best possible city to live in for all of our constituents. You have my pledge that I will work tirelessly to work alongside you, with you, and for you as your leader, and do everything in my power to make sure that you have what you need to do your job successfully. So I want to say thank you again. It's going to be a great year. God bless each one of your families, and God bless this great city of Memphis. Councilwoman Swearingen Washington, I think you have the same night minute items ready.
Thank you, Chair. The same night minutes are 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 49, and 50, and item 3 was held.
Statement of minutes were moved by Swearingen and Washington, seconded by Green. Please prepare the voting screen.
Split it. Canali, yes. Cooper Sutton, yes. Ford, yes. Green, yes. Logan, yes. Spinoza, yes. Swearingen, Washington, yes. White, yes.
That item passes. That brings us to our public comment section of the meeting. Joan Harp, you're up first. If you give us your name and address for the record, you may begin. You have 2 minutes.
That. Hey, Joan Harp, 178 South Grove Park Road, beautiful Memphis, 38117. I'm here today, of course, to talk about the dog shelter. It's not going well. We should not be calling it a shelter. It's turned into a slaughterhouse. 7-month-old puppies last week. Oh, and then a rescue. Foster was kind enough to step up and get one out when we were killing 14. Mary Boers got the paperwork messed up, came to this woman's house with the police to get the dog back. In the meantime, she killed some more the next day. So instead of this dog being in a nice, friendly house, right, with his people and being loved on and going for a pup cup, it sat in an office in a cage because Mary Boers was mad. That woman does not belong at the animal shelter. She has no experience with animals. It's cruelty. We need to make it stop. We can do better. Some of us have a plan to get 200 dogs fostered by New Year's. Are you with us? Let's hear some applause for that, right? Let's do something different. And speaking of something different, let's get our kids into a stay-in at the gyms on Friday nights. Let's give them pizza, movies. Let's have some fun and keep them safe. And for all of you, I'm grateful you're here, and I brought you free movie tickets to a woman producer's movie that is on Thursday at the Melco in Cordova. Please come see A Scene of Joy and Hope, new filmmakers in Memphis. Thank you. And these are for you guys, and for the staff, I got one for each one of you.
Thank you, Ms. Harp. Thank you for being here and for your comments and for the tickets to the movie. Mr. Kent.
Joe Kent, 5111 Flamingo. I would like to thank Doug McGowan for MLGW's transparency and exceptional financial documentation. At the same time, outside of MATA, we have 3 major scams: Sports Authority, More Taxes for Memphis, MLGW Capital Spend Scam. That is creating a forward-leaning posture on rate increases not discussed today, and includes the Engineering Operations Center. MLGW's narrative, which I firmly believe of decades of capital underspend, has been disemboweled entirely. It did not happen, pointing to, based on grid underperformance, an ongoing conspiracy that predates McGowan of ripping off ratepayers through public contract. Next, on more for Memphis, I think it's redundant, but if even needed, any new joint city council branch of government should embrace the following: cost minimization, financial transparency with current financials, public board meetings, answering FOIAs. I have never heard any of the MFM gang embrace any of those tenets publicly, ever in my life. Thanks for not ramming it through today. And the Sports Authority is a $750 million scam. And we have yet another chamber workforce botch on our hands, and that's business as usual. Another workforce botch. It's going on right now. And I would have pulled a card today for certain individuals and said something about individuals not to elect chairman. for their participation in the MATA Oversight Batch. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Kent. Always good to hear from you. Lisa Romero.
Good evening, thank you. I'm Lisa Romero at 3729 Elliston Road, Memphis 38111. I'm here to talk about Memphis Animal Services and one item in particular about a check that was to purchase a spay and neuter van. I want to know where the check came from, where the funds came from, who sponsored the check, and what happened to it. Why don't we have the van? Where did the money go?
Ms. Romero, if you would send me, if I could get one of my business cards, if you would send me an email with that information, I'd be happy to find you an answer. I do not have an answer for you at this time, though.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. That brings us to the end, colleagues. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.